Hey, what's up, Georgia here? This time around it's Ohio, and I'm still using that knife.com. Uh, I'm starting off like owning or carrying a knife is generally illegal unless if the knife falls under the category of a deadly weapon. Certain restrictions apply to concealed carry, which can result misdemeanor or felony charges. Worth noting that significant changes were made to Ohio's knife law on April 12th, 2021, with the signing of the Senate Bill 140. The bill amended the prior sections of the revised code accepting knives that are not used as weapons from certain regulations. Uh, with regards to the types of knives allowed in Ohio, it's essential to note that the state restrictions regarding concealed carry knives have been removed as April 12th of 2021. Some restrictions still apply to certain types of knives. Uh, if a knife falls under the deadly weapon category according to knife Ohio law, it will be restricted from being carried. Uh, it's important to remember that although statewide pre-image exists in Ohio, local laws may still vary. It's essential to keep updated on changing legislation and learn about any specific statutes in your area. Uh, Ohio state's laws grant broad legal ownership to various types of knives, demonstrating a more permissive stance than any other states. For example, Ohio allows for the ownership of knives that are often restricted elsewhere, such as switchblades and gravity knives. The state also permits the possession and carrying of blazing butterfly knives and trainers, which are used for safety, practicing with the flips and tricks associated with butterfly knives. Uh, Other personal knives include dirks, daggers, and bowie knives and stilettos. These types of knives are both functional and decorative due to the unique designs. Lastly, Ohio allows the carry and ownership of most pocket knives without specific blade length restriction, contrasting in the common restriction of blade length shorter than 4 inches in many states. Despite broad ownership rights, Ohio still place certain limitations on the ownership and carry of knives, specifically on deadly weapons and certain types of ordnance. One such example is a ballistic knife, classified as a dangerous ordnance. Ballistic knives possess blades that can be fired from a handle, making them more dangerous than any other types of knife. Ohio law prohibits the use of any knife as a weapon when it's concealed carry. Concealing a knife with the intention of using it as a weapon could result in a misdemeanor or felony charges. Uh, as of April 12th, 2021, Ohio removed state restrictions on the concealed carry of knives. Therefore, any knife could be carried concealed provided it is not used as a weapon. However, location specific deadly weapon restrictions still apply in areas like school, safety zones, and court facilities. Even though you can carry a knife, concealed carry and certain knives concealed can be considered a misdemeanor or felony. Ohio law also permits the open carry of knives as long as the knife is not used as a weapon. You can openly carry any knife without any specific restrictions aside from those in place for location-specific scenarios such as school safety zone or cart facilities. Uh, Penalty successful violation of Ohio knife laws. You can use a knife as a dangerous weapon carrying prohibited knife like a plastic knife. You may force legal requisition. Consequences may include misdemeanor felony charge. As a law enforcement officer in Ohio, you have certain expectations when it comes to knife laws. For instance, you are generally allowed to carry a concealed knife while on duty. However, the exemptions may not extend to off-duty situations requiring adherence to the same regulations as the general public. Members of the military also have certain expectations considering how knife laws depending on your role within the military. You may be authorized to carry specific knives that are restricted or prohibited to the public while officially off duty. You should adhere to the same Ohio knife laws. To civilians, you okay, buddy? It's just Gizmo over here cutting up. Say, hey, Gizmo, say, hey, come here. Okay, I got you. January 11th, 2021, Governor DeWine signed Senate Bill 140 into law, which went into effect on April 12th, 2021. The law repealed the ban on the manufacture and sale of switchblade, spring blade, and gravity knives. It's also clarified that knife, razor, or cutting instrument carries deadly weapon or weapon if used as one. Now any knife may be carried openly concealed as long as it's not used as a weapon. Ohio recently expanded of the stand your ground law impacts of the general self-defense context potentially include knives. The new law limits the duty to retreat before using force as self-defense, which this topic can be controversial. It's crucial to stay aware of the implications of potential consequences, which I like that. At least you can't get a hold of a gun, you can still use a knife when you stand your ground stand your ground law, so that's good. I think once I get through this, I don't know, I might go back, which it's gonna be, I'll finish my thought later on. Ohio eased restrictions on the protection of certain types of knives. The ban on manufacturing switchblade, spring blade, and gravity knives has been repealed. When it comes to selling knives in Ohio, there is no specific restrictions on the sale or transfer of knives except for the ballistic knives. There is a broad legality possession of knives in Ohio. The state allows for the ownership of a wide variety of knives, including switchblade, gravity knives, butterfly knives, long trainers, dirks, daggers, bowie knives, stilettos, and most pocket knives. However, there are restrictions to possession of ballistic knives classified as dangerous weapons. There's no specific blade length restrictions for knives. Any knife can be carried open or concealed. Automatic knives are allowed in Ohio. The ban on manufacture and sale of automatic knives such as switchblades, spring blades, and gravity knives has been repealed. It doesn't say anything about the age restriction, about owning one. It's just right here, a couple of paragraphs talking about the butterfly, OTF, and bowie knives, and switchblades. You can't allow them to carry carry laws regarding felons carrying knives can be complex, which there's a specific law in Ohio especially forbids a felon from carrying a knife. There are certain federal laws, other state laws that could apply. Felons should face legal issues as knives. So, so if you're a felon, you're going to carry, you better seek a legal professional person on that, like an attorney or someone. Ohio Revised Code Section 2923.11, Section 2923.12, Section 2923.18, and Section 2923.20. Significant court case, Hyder, 10th District, Franklin number 13AP-298, 2004, Ohio 1066. The court appeals refers an aggravated robbery conviction for Mace on the defense possession of a knife during the robbery because the child court admitted evidence of a knife that was not used in the robbery. April 12th, 2021, Ohio Senate Bill 140 went into effect, permitted concealed carry of non-weapon knives, revised the definition of a deadly weapon to include knife under the circumstances. Amended Ohio Revised Code Section 2923.12, 2923.18, and 2923.20 to exempt knives not used as weapons. September 13, 2022, the Knife Rights Ohio Knife Permission Bill went into effect. It eliminated federal and compilation laws regarding knives across the state. Man, talk about a good one. Yeah. As always, I'm no legal expert. I ain't no attorney, just going state by state, doing an overview for the state knife laws, and going back to thing about stand your ground laws where you can still use a knife, which is, I was going to say that's good. I wish more states were like that, and well, I hope y'all a good one. Take care and see you in the next one.